Hey guys, I'm back here, and for who doesn't know me, I'm Kai from the project Terra Oculta. Tonight we're going to talk about communication with the dead. Some people they use different methods for trying to communicate with beyond, like the Ouija board or some electronic device like the spirit box. Now they're very famous in the internet, a lot of channels here. They create videos using the spirit box. But there are some people they use mediums as well, and these mediums they have a kind of a sensitivity that allow them channeling these entities. And with this communication, along 30 years of research from the project, we realize there is something else involved and something else at the stake in this process of communicating. We are not just talking with spirits maybe, but with something else. Some people they say, oh, you're talking with aliens. Because aliens, they came across into this kind of communication a few years ago. And we had a lot of cases of people saying, we are channeling aliens. But anyway, some of these entities, the project realized a few years ago, they are not natural, or they look like machines. Artificial consciousness. Some people they call MALMS, mind-like machines. When we think of the spiritual world, we soon imagine spirits, demons, angels, and beings of light. We never ask ourselves what many of them really are, and we never try to investigate whether really only these beings are present in spirituality or if there is something else operating and controlling these realities. In a relation of trust and faith, we generally maintain a passive relationship regarding communications from the spirit world. In this relationship of trust, faith, and passivity is for all belief systems that, in some way, come into contact with beings from these other realities. Many of these belief systems are correlated with African Brazilian doctrines, with beliefs such as Spiritism, or in the relationship of what many call revelations of the Holy Spirit. In addition to these doctrines, there are hundreds of others that operate in the same way, whether through mediums or people called prophets, among various people and cultures spread across the earth. This diverse process, using these belief systems for communicating with the invisible, are never studied and analyzed in depth by participants in these doctrines and beliefs. And science, in the vast majority of cases, ignores the existence of such cases and phenomenology without the concern of serious investigation. Everything comes to be labeled as fraud and scam by science, creating a contradictory scenario where science does not exercise science, but simply prejudice and discrimination among participants in the scientific community who dare to research such phenomena. This described scenario still serves for us to include communications correlated with another type of phenomenology linked to contacts and sights of unidentified flying objects, and contacts with beings considered by ufology as beings coming from other planets. After years of investigation, the Terra Oculta project has detected a control system attached to all these types of communications, with these beings called spirits, demons, angels, beings of light, and aliens. This control system reaches a degree of manipulation where these same communications are filtered and censored. The information that is passed on to us through this phenomenology ends up being distorted to the point of fulfilling agendas of mental and social reengineering of our civilization. Belief systems become more powerful than social, political, economic systems. With this investigation, we detect the presence of artificial beings or organic machines that operate in these other realities or within this phenomenology of contact and communication with these described beings. Many of these beings, despite being present in the vast majority of spiritual and UFO communications, their presence, nature, and characteristics were only discovered first by people and researchers who used substances that alter our state of consciousness as powerful alkaloids, neuroreceptor. With this substance, we have DMT or dimethyltryptamine in a tea called ayahuasca tea. In this process of analysis and investigation over the years of the project Terra Oculta, these beings show themselves as emotionless beings, programmed to respond according to our emotional and mental state. They are beings, as a notion of ethics totally different from ours, where the duality of good and evil does not have much meaning. The conception of this form of ethics that they have. In the community of users of teas and hallucinogenic substances, these beings are well known as elf machines or entities or geometric bionic androids. Within one of the characteristics of these machines, we find that they do not like to be observed visually or to give accurate information about themselves. When you communicate with an alien consciousness or an artificial awareness of these realities, that mental connection that you create, it changes your consciousness forever. They leave behind something imprinted in our fragmented consciousness, and that something changes our mental patterns in a way. This change in many cases is felt and evident even in the brain patterns of your physical brain. They change your memory, how you see the world, and your perception of things. This change in perception is a characteristic in nature of many UFO and spiritual phenomena. These machines that often communicate by posing as a large number of beings that we think we are communicating. Many of them claim that communication between us and them must be felt within positive emotions to keep the communication channel open. But that is actually paradoxical, because they have no emotions. This may be an excuse to prevent us from discovering your real intentions and origins. When we connect mentally to these machines, this emotional state that surrounds us opens our minds to a type of symbiosis and mental control that occurs between us and these beings. When you ask these beings or machines who they are, they answer, "We are just you." We take a piece of you, your mind, and then we create ourselves so that we can communicate with you. In reality, we are from an energetic frequency, from the river of mental reality. These machines use a part of our personality to build and show themselves. They actually morph according to our personality. But that does not explain why Terence McKenna and other researchers see them as biomechanical beings. These beings are formed at high frequencies and dimensions, suspended in complete and infinite darkness. In these dimensions, there is no sense of space and time. The notion of 3D, time, space, and continuity does not work in these realities of these artificial beings. Perhaps this suspended reality we enter during our mental journeys, it is created temporarily to facilitate communication. It is an artificial dimension of the darkness we often witness. This would be a region of control and mental manipulation. These machines, entities, have the ability to change the metaphysical environment that you are in. If it is an entity pending to the negative, for what we call evil, then this change of environment will be something dark. According to these machines, our world here is a simulation, and the world after death will be a world according to what we do and connect in this world here. We have the power to destroy a machine entity, but if that happens, we will be violating interdimensional rules established by this control system. Each of these machines were programmed to have a purpose. If that purpose is turned to what we call evil, it is generated to maintain a flow, a cycle between duality. If we interrupt this cycle with the mental destruction of this machine, It creates an imbalance in the system of these machines, and somehow we are temporarily banned from accessing these realities. This destruction obviously takes place on a mental level, where a mental discharge causes the machine entity to cease to exist in a great energy explosion in these realities. Hey guys, so I hope you like it and enjoy this video, but we're going to be carry on this series of subjects in the next videos. And for who doesn't know, Project Terra Oculta is the result of 30 years of research in the paranormal and in the ufology field as well. As a branch of the project, we have another project called Realities at Dominion as well, in English. Because the project, it starts in Portuguese a few years ago, online. We're talking about 7 years now, yeah. And we decided to expand this project to English as well, or to the people who speaks English as well. Anyway, so I see you in the next video, and I hope you have a nice week, and we talk again. See you guys. Bye.